We're here, Move Better Project, episode 1. Today we're talking about how to stand up straight and giving you guys the basics of good posture. So here it is, really quick, capsule form. My feet are parallel to each other, about hip width apart, okay? And I'm going to screw my feet into the floor. That comes from my hips. So I rotate my hips, my arches lift up a little bit, so I screw my feet into the floor. The second thing is I just have a little bit of tension in the belly, maybe 2 out of 10, if I'm thinking on a scale of 1 to 10. My shoulders are going to rotate externally, so that means like palms forward. You can relax your wrist, but your shoulder just has to rotate back a little bit, so that sets your shoulder. And your head and your neck, your head lifts up and back. So I'm making my neck long, I lift up and back, put it all together, stand up straight. That's good posture. Alright, that's what it looks like, and you know what it looks like. You're designed to look for this. This is something that you can see when somebody walks around and has good posture. It's a good look. You can tell right away that person has good posture. And you can tell when somebody has bad posture, even if you don't necessarily know what's wrong. But let's break it down, kind of go piece by piece. So let's start with the hips. This is the biggest thing. A lot of times we have people with messed up lower back position, messed up hip position. You can see from the side, number one problem that we see most is kind of an overextended position. So this happens a lot, especially with people who run, people who squat, people who just get tight quads, or just who sit too much. This stuff gets tight in here, and at least when I stand up, I can't open my hip all the way, so my back is overextended. And that's no good. So normally you'd hear people say, well, just squeeze your butt tight. That doesn't work because it's too hard to do all the time. If you squeeze your butt tight, I'm going to get tired pretty quickly, and then I'm just going to fall back into overextension. So what I want to do is find a way to just have enough tension, and it's this rotation. I think about my 2 femurs right here. They just kind of rotate back, and that pushes my hips forward so that my pelvis is neutral and my lower back is fine. That is a big deal. Just that little rotation, kind of screwing your feet into the floor. So that's number 1. Number 2, we're talking about the feet. And the feet are a big deal because a lot of times people talk about, oh, well, you know, I have flat feet. My feet are flat. Usually, not always, but usually that's not a foot issue. My foot doesn't have any problems usually. It's that my knees and my hips are rolling inward, and that's internally rotating and collapsing that arch. So if I can just externally rotate from standing position, it looks like just rotate my hips a little bit, I lift up that arch. And it's not like this where I'm super tonic, that's no good. But just a little bit of an arch there, and I'm good. That allows my foot to work like it's supposed to. So if I'm just walking, my heel hits first, my toes spread out, I grab the ground. I have an active relationship with the ground where my foot is staying stable, I'm keeping an arch here. If I'm running, you know, and I'm in this position as I change back and forth, the ball of my foot hits, and my foot can act and function like a spring and transmit that force forward as I run in place and then lean forward and start running. So that's the feet. Hips first, feet second. Third thing, we talked about the belly, just keeping enough tension basically to maintain. Your butt sets the position, we rotate into position, your abs maintain it. If we think about like if you're bracing to take a punch or you're doing a 1 rep max deadlift, that's like a 10 out of 10. We want to be is just 2. 2 out of 10 is plenty. If you go too much, again, you get tired and then you give up on it and then we just fall out of place. So that's the belly. Shoulders are going to rotate back. We talked about that, opening up. Your wrist rotates separately from your shoulder. So I just want to rotate my shoulder back, let my wrist fall, do whatever it has to do. If I'm walking, my arms can swing past. We see a lot of this kind of arm swinging with your shoulders forward, or people who run in this kind of bent over position. So just opening that back, not reaching back and overextending, but just that little bit of opening. The head, it's lift up. This right here, you know, kind of classic like piano teacher lesson, lift up the hair on the back of your head. That's what I want to do. I just want to lift up and back. My skull elevates, my cervical spine here, my neck lengthens. It's still got its natural curve here, but it's long. I'm not getting tight. I'm not going to have pain in my neck from there. So it's just a matter of everything just kind of setting into place. A little rotation here, sets your feet, a little bit of tension here, a little rotation here, a little elevation here, and then you're good to go. So that's what we're looking at with good posture, just a few basic pieces, something you can think about all the time. Try to put it into practice, see how you feel. Try to make that work for you this week. We'll be back next week talking about something else. I'm not sure what it is, but thanks for checking it out. See you guys soon.